Hi there, good morning, me again with 30 minutes of my day. Happy Sunday. Hope you're doing well. Yes, I'm still playing with the tissue paper and Mod Podge. So I have some more ideas on things I want to try. So I'm just going to tape these down for a couple reasons so it doesn't curl up while I'm working on it and so it doesn't pull while I'm working on it. There we go. I want to play with napkin tissue. And I also want to, I have some Mod Podge. This is the gloss. And I bought them by accident. And I thought, you know what? While I'm experimenting, why not experiment with this gloss and see how really glossy it really is? And I would think maybe I won't mind it with what we're doing here. We'll see. So let me just make sure. Sometimes these, and yeah, this is old. Is it still? It's still liquidy. Okay. There we go. Probably about 2 years old. So this really is an experiment. I get them at. I used to get them at my Dollar Tree, or in Canada, $1.25 tree. I've seen them now at our Dollaramas as well, and I believe they're $1.25 at Dollarama as well. So I usually just load up on the mat, which of course is not matte, but I'm not going to go on that again. I always go on tangents. Anyhow, so I've got lots of the gloss that I bought by accident one day when I wasn't looking. Let's just use it today. So I want to play with some tissue. I'm hoping I've got some of my, well, that one might be pretty. Yeah, let's play with that one. Oh, this one might be pretty. It's got maps of the world. Okay, let's play with that one. I know I've got a tissue already pulled apart with a fleur-de-lis. And that's what I want, my fleur-de-lis one. I have more if I need it, but I really want to use up the ones I've already pulled apart. There it is. That's the one I'm especially interested in for to put in Evangeline. Well, here's some more. I have a little bin that I find I have a bad habit of just grabbing a new napkin every time instead of using up the pieces of napkin that I have. So then when I started this bin, I found I've been using my napkins more frugally, wisely. All right, let's move these. I want to work with this one for now. Yeah, so what I want to try is, let me find the one. First of all, I want to try it on its own with no pattern paper behind it. And here's my challenge. So I'm going to think out loud so that you can creep into my brain and see how the wheels are turning in there. A napkin, single layer tissue on its own just tore when I would use the brush and would just do this. It would just tear and pull away. So what I'm thinking is, I think what I need to do in order to get a single layer is I need to paint my Mod Podge onto the plastic and then drop this on, and then I need to let it dry and then do a top coat and maybe a couple of top coats. When Marie Jenkins works with Mod Podge and makes transfers, she will also print right on copy paper. She'll do like 7 or 9 coats of Mod Podge, and then what she'll do is she'll flip it over to the paper side, wet it with water, and she rolls the paper right off So that's all that's left is literally the layer of Mod Podge and the image that was on the copy paper that she printed. I'm not doing that today, but it shows you with enough layers of Mod Podge, I expect that this is going to become quite sturdy and quite usable in journals. Now, hold on. I'm talking away here, and I better make sure I've got my timer set in case I... there we go. Okay, in case I talk too long, which is most likely. All right, so what I'm going to do is... let's put you here so I know how wide to do the strip so I don't waste too much Mod Podge. Oh, gee. Talked about wasting Mod Podge. I do see some little chunks. As I said, this is quite old. Probably 3 years old. Sorry about that. That's my husband coming in the front door. We have one of those ring bells there. So if he yells, I apologize. He's probably looking for me right now, but he knows where to find me. Okay, so I'm doing it quite thick so that our experiment hopefully will be quite sturdy. Oh, I need a small one to put my paintbrush in. Now, let's lay this down. All right, I'm going to let that get a little less sticky. So I'm going to come back to this. Don't roll up on me. I'm going to tape it down. I have a counter over there, and I'm going to go tape it down over there and let it do a little bit of drying while I do another one. So I'm going to pause you for a second. Okay, fresh bag. I have no idea what these are going to turn out like. So, whoop. So we shall see. I should just use my rocks to hold this down. Oh well. Now, maybe we should make a map. Let's do a map. I'm just going to do one square. Let's see how this comes out. I hope I remember. I want to show you a cool little thing that I figured out for getting the bumblebees off of my napkins. Off of these ones. See the little donut holes? I'll show you. And it might not be what you think. You experienced ones are probably thinking, oh, come on, Catherine, I know you're using a paintbrush. Everyone knows. No. Oh, wait, yes, in a way I'm using a paintbrush, pardon me. But in a different way. All right, so I'm going to put this here just so that I know how wide to make my little square. Come on, thank you. A little bit more. I'm interested to see how glossy this glossy is. big enough? Yeah. No, nope, a little bigger. A little bigger. All right. Let's do it. So I'm hoping that by letting this side dry, then flipping it over before I do the coating on this side, might give me two really smooth sides. Because the side that is next to the plastic gets really nice and smooth. See that? That's the smooth side next to the plastic. And then the top side still stays kind of wrinkly. I like that, don't get me wrong, but I'm just experimenting to see if there's a way to get both sides really smooth, especially because I'm thinking, as far as working with colored tissue, to maybe make some, I'm just patting this down, maybe making some stained glass see-through paper for making peekaboo pockets for in Christmas journals. Wouldn't that look pretty? To have it sort of look like church windows. There we go. So, like right now, if I tried to take this brush and paint across that, because it doesn't have paper underneath to adhere to, it'll mush right over. All right, here we go. I'm going to move this over to my other table and just let it chillax. So hold on. All right, let's do this again. Not terribly exciting today, but personally, I don't think they usually are terribly exciting. So again, why I'm so appreciative when you choose to come by and visit with me. Now, oh, I did my fleur-de-lis. I think I want to do one of these. Maybe a small one. And that way I can do a small one of one of the others. I just want this side. I want to do that one. And then maybe I can do another one. Love these ones with the... Maybe I should do one of these. Here I am saying I love it, and I'm looking elsewhere. Oh, you can see one I've torn out wanting a balloon. Oh, you know what? This is a big one, though. I want to be able to maybe do one here and one here. What do I see? Oh, this might be fun. This one, I know it's big, but I wonder how clear that would become. This one's really old. Let's do it. Now, if you hear my stomach growl, it's almost lunchtime. My sweetie pie's been working in the yard. We got up really early and we went and got groceries. We had the furnace on last night. It's that chilly where we are. All right, you know what? I'm just going to do that one. Maybe I'll find another piece where I can work on this one. All right. Let's just do it. Part of me is wondering if I should be swirling my brush strokes. I like swirly brush strokes. If you're going to see this brush strokes, I would prefer them to be swirly. So let's try this one with swirls. Just for fun. You never know. Might look really cool. A little texture, right? Now, is that big enough? Nope, a little bit bigger. And I don't want it to get too thin around the edges. You can just, I've just noticed with the other ones I've already made, if I let it get too thin around the edges and it's thick in the center is always nicer. So I'm aiming to try and keep the edges equally as thick as my interior strokes. All right, let's try this now and see. I wonder if a dry brush would help me pat that down. Let's see if a light, feathery dry brush. We're really experimenting today. I don't want to tear it. Once it's wet, it's just so fragile. Now I can see there where I need some underneath here because I plopped it. It's all on the plop too, isn't it? Let's just put some there. Plop that back down. Maybe I'll try and brush underneath. Okay, I'm going to take a chance. All right, I'm going to leave that be. Oh, I'm hopeful for this one. We'll see. I'm going to pause you and put this over on my other table. Okay, I'm still waiting for all those sheets to dry, but while we're waiting, let me show you how I have these napkins and how I get just one bee off the napkin. And it's such a tricky thing to, when you do the wet paintbrush thing. I don't have one of those water-filled paintbrushes. I think I'm going to need to treat myself to one of these days. But I found a really cool way to just get one, as you can see here. I find the bee that I want, and I think this would work if you want anything like circular. Just get yourself the size of the circle you want and hold it down right over the item. Then get your wet and go right around the outside. Push that thing down so that the water doesn't leak underneath. And then here's what you do. Lift your tissue. Still hold the lid down or whatever circular thing you're using and just lift your tissue away. Tear it away because you still want that torn edge. It blends better when you're going to lay it down on something. And there you go. Now, see how it's still wet here? It's okay to just wait and let it dry before you lift it, because sometimes with that wetness, you'll tear your, no, you're not, that's not accurate, you, because I didn't pause you when I paused my camera. Anyhow, I'm actually going to pause the camera and let this dry, let those dry, and then we'll see what we need to do next. So I'm going to pause. You can barely see that little bee. Okay, you know what? I just used my blow dryer and gave it a little hot air. And there you go. There is your bee that you were able to just get the bee. I just want that off. I've got Mod Podge on my fingers still. So there is, there's a cool way just to get one single thing off of a tissue. Just find the shape of something, size of something, paint around the outside, and then lift the rest of the napkin away. And you'll be left with the one that you wanted. Works for me. Okay, I'm going to pause again, and I'm going to go take a look. Hold on. Okay, so here is the fleur-de-lis one that we did first. I'm sorry if you can't see it very well. I put this down while we were working on the little bumblebee, and now I can't move it. So again, this is all experiment. It's dry, so I should be able to peel it off carefully, because it'll still tear. Oh, no, you know what? That still feels damp there. Those thick areas feel damp. I may let it dry a bit more. Let's see. Of course, I'm impatient, right? And you get to stare at my arm while I play with this with my impatience. Come on. Lift up. Lift up. All right. Come on. You're really sticking good. Now I'm going to put this aside. Oh yeah, that is still a little damp. Oh well. Let's see what we can do. Uh-oh. Where am I going to put this? Okay, I'll put it on this. Because now I need to repaint with more Mod Podge. And then lay it back down again, the other side down. Let's see. And if you're screaming at your screen right now saying, Catherine, there's an easier way to do this, oh, please write it in the comments. Mind you, it's all about experimenting, isn't it? That's art. It's all an education. I gotta tell you, this glossy Mod Podge smells different than the matte. Very different smell to this than the matte Mod Podge. Very strange. Now I want more around those edges. I find if they're too thin, well, as you saw, harder to peel them off and thus work with them. All right, I'm going to flip this over. So there's the shiny side that was against the plastic. That's not long enough. No, this is the right way. All right, shiny side up. Yes. And plop it down. And hope it doesn't stick to me. There's that little section right there that was still wet and I was impatient. All right, this is a little easier to push down. So that's nice. I may still leave it be for a few minutes and then push on it with a plastic sheet. But so far, the little ripples that I'm seeing, I rather like. I'm not afraid of texture. Texture makes a junk journal have more character. So this is more for experiment. This is my dry brush. There's no Mod Podge in it. Now, where is... There's a clean one. I just want to push on it a little and encourage it to lay down. You know what? I'm going to leave it be. All right, I'm going to pause again so that we can make the best use of our 30 minutes. And we're at 26 already. Hold on. Okay, this is still wet. So I've had this paused for quite a while. You can't tell, but I've been doing other things in my room. And so that's another lesson learned. Mod Podge gloss takes, for whatever reason, I guess something in the ingredients list takes much longer to dry than the Mod Podge matte. Or maybe it's because it's a couple years old. I don't know. It should still be fine. You know, we'll wait and see. But one thing I think I might do, it really is glossy. So I think what I might do is, when these are all dry and said and done, I may take them outside and just give them a quick shot with the matte acrylic sealer. And for a couple reasons. First of all, with this glossy one, the matte sealer will dull it back down again, which is what I prefer. Plus, though, if you live in a humid area, if you have humid summers like I do where I live, the matte sealer will take away that tacky feeling that Mod Podge can sometimes have. There's nothing wrong with it. It just feels different. It doesn't feel smooth the way plastic does. You can just always feel a bit of a, you know, a little bit of a grip to it. So, the Mod Podge matte sealer. This is not a glue the way liquid Mod Podge is. It's just an acrylic sealer. It seals in what you've done. So I love this stuff. This is what I seal my book covers with. It's virtually invisible, but it's there. So I think maybe there'll be another little follow-up. Like yesterday, there was like a little 7.5 minutes more of my day. I may follow up later and show you how things have turned out, especially after I seal it, or else maybe tomorrow I'll show you. So thanks for spending time with me today. I appreciate it. I hope you go and have a great rest of your day, and we will talk soon. Maybe later today, maybe tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Thanks for stopping by.